Hey, Sheepdog Nation, what's going on? Welcome to this free training. I'm really excited to have you on how to grow a business online without fucking wasting all of your time and spending all of your time. Because let's be honest, you don't have a ton of time to spend online, on social media, building this business, even if it's a side hustle, because you're a sheepdog. Like, you have a job, I'm sure. If you don't have a job, then you have family. You have a ton of things that you need to be doing. So spending all of your time online just isn't even practical, right? Like, I'm really excited to share with you these 3 tips that I have. These are my secret hacks that I have put together over the past 2 years that I've spent building my own business. For those of you who don't know me, who are brand new to me, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. So I've been a police officer since I've been 20 years old. I turned 21 in a police cruiser, and let me tell you, back then I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I was on patrol for 6 years, but then what happened is I got a herniated and torn disc in my lowest back, and it really put me out. I had some tough decisions to make on moving forward with my career or what it is that I was going to do. And while I was down and out, I decided to build a business. And so I have learned, I've spent a ton of money, over $50,000 literally on this business, but it has been very successful. And within the last 2 years, both years, I have replaced my full-time income as a police officer, as well as the overtime, right, that I was making as a police officer. So this, it's quite remarkable, the things that you can do online. I'm really excited to share with you my 3 secrets so that you don't have to spend all day long, building this business, but you can still do it even if it's your side hustle. So I'm really excited to share that with you. So why can I, so that I built a business, right? But why can't I share these secret things that how to grow? Because let's be honest, right now my profile is not huge. It just isn't. But guess what? Here's what I've been able to do in my business. Every single time, if I've changed my niche, if I've changed my focus, every single time I do the same thing and it works. And that's what I'm going to teach you to do. And that's, I build a community. I build a know, like, and trust factor. People get to know me. I actually care about my people. I listen to them, and I grow a community. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be teaching you to do today. So let's dive right in. Okay, so secret number 1. Are you ready? Are you excited? You ready to hear it? Okay, secret number 1 is how to make money online without having an actual product. And yes, I have notes. And the reason why is because I do not want to forget the shit that I want to tell you. Okay, so how do you make money online without having an actual product? What the fuck? How cool would that be, right? You're sitting here and you're like, all right, Autumn, that would be so cool. I don't have to have an actual product, and I can make money online, and I don't have to spend all day being online. Okay, what is this? This is a gimmick, right? And I want to tell you that no, it's not a gimmick. And I've never really had a product since I've started my business. What I did have is I had a service. So I have a service. So, but when I was in MLM, I did have a product. I had one then, but you don't need a product, and you don't really even need a service. I'll tell you what you need. Okay. You need to build an account. You need to build a following on any social media platform you desire. So this isn't just for Instagram, but Instagram is probably my favorite place because it's so targeted. I can target and hang out with the people that I want to hang out with, and I don't have to worry too much about other assholes coming and jamming my shit up, right? I don't need to do that. So I get to talk specifically to sheepdogs who want to be in business or who are in business. And it's not like I'm speaking to crowds of people who's not listening to me. Okay. So just think about that, because a lot of other platforms can be quite difficult when it comes to that. So you want to build this platform, right? So you want to build your profile in a very niche down, a very targeted subject. So what does that mean? Well, it means I want you to be thinking about what you're passionate about. I want you to be thinking about what you're really good at right now, okay? And we're going to bring that into your social media profile. So what does that even mean, right? Okay, well, let me give you an example. So if I was a canine handler, I'm not, but my fiance is, right? So if I was a canine handler and I wanted to, like grow this like side hustle, I don't have time to grow a business right now, but I want to grow this side hustle. What I would do is I would create a profile and I would be like, all right, what do I want to do? Do I want to teach people how to train dogs? Because like, let's be honest, as a canine handler, you have to learn how to fucking train dogs, right? So do I want to teach people how to train dogs? Maybe. And if that's what I want to do, then I'm going to create a profile all around that. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to take a bunch of pictures of like my dog. I'm going to maybe make some videos on like me doing some dog training, right? And I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna see what their problems are. I'm gonna find out what their biggest problems are. Maybe I'm gonna end up doing consultations at some point with people who need help training their dog. Not a bad idea. Maybe I'm like, no, I don't want to teach people how to train their dogs. What I want to do is I want to teach other police officers what they need to do to set themselves up for success to become a canine handler. That's fucking cool, right? So then what do? So you just take that position. So you target police officers. You teach and talk about like, what does it take to become a police officer? What does it take to be able to do this? And you set your profile up that way and start having that conversation. And you continue to show maybe some behind the scenes, show the PT aspect, show what it takes, what kind of officer you need to be pre-canine in order for you to be even like considered to qualify for the canine, right? And then show them what life is like after the canine, like when the canine's in your life, because I can tell you from firsthand experience, it's a whole new world with a canine, right? Especially with a Belgian Malinois who's a fucking nutcase. Just saying. He's my boy. I love him. Would never trade him for the world. But if you're not prepared for that, holy fuck. And so like even doing that, so there's a third thing I just came up with all in one fucking idea, one passion, right? And the third thing is prepare police families for getting a police canine. Nobody's doing that. And let me tell you, I think there's big money in that. I've talked to my fiance about it 1,000 times that he needs to friggin' do this, right? So do it. It's a really good idea. But anyway, so just picking and niching down. So picking your target. And the reason why this is good, and I'm going to tell you, the reason why this is so good is because what's going to happen is, one, you're going to become like this expert in your area. But not only that, is it's so targeted that people are going to start looking specifically for your content. Because you're not going to be like all those people doing, selfies. Never underestimate the power of a selfie. We'll talk about that later. But like, you're not doing naked pictures of yourself. You're not just taking pictures of what you eat. And listen, all of this shit, I'm not shitting on any of it, because if it's done right, then it has a purpose. Okay. But what's going on is people don't understand how to do this right, the correct way. And they see these big accounts. They're like, oh, well, they're putting like, bikini photos of herself and she's doing this and like that. And I'm going to copy these people, but you're not deploying the right strategy. And so you're failing. And so that's why I'm coming in and I'm telling you, you've got to target your people and then you've got to give them what they want to see. Okay. And then what happens is companies, let's say I'm going to go back to my canine example. Companies are going to see that maybe you have a canine and like they want to promote their muzzle. Or they want to promote, their collar. They want to promote fucking who knows, right? All this shit, like maybe a dog brush. They want to promote all this stuff. And so what happens is they're going to come to you because they see that you have a very targeted market. Doesn't matter about the hundreds of thousands. They give a shit about 500, 1,000, 2,000 people who are very niched in, meaning when you hold up this muzzle and you're like, hey guys, so I just got this muzzle and it's like really cool. It's like $20, you guys should get it. And all of a sudden they get fucking 10 sales, done. Like that's marketing. You get paid for that. Okay. And so you also can get paid for featuring other people on your accounts. Okay. So this is very like easy stuff, right? It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much time to start posting about shit that you like and that you're good at and like what you can add value to somebody's life with. So if you're like excuse me, if you're like at this point, you're like, Autumn, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, I don't, but you're sitting here like, I don't know. I'm just a cop. I'm just a veteran. I'm just all these things. And I want to give you like a friendly kick in the ass. And I want to tell you, yeah, dude, you're a sheepdog. You have fucking so much to offer that you just don't even realize it. Okay. And I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just saying this. I'm telling you, I have talked to countless sheepdogs who literally think that they just have like nothing to offer. Oh, I'm just going to go like sell guns because that's like all I know. And I'm telling you right now that that's wrong. So here is how I'm going to give you a little tip. Ready? Here's how you are going to fix that and how you're going to identify what you are very passionate about. From this point forward, I want you to pay attention. I want you to go take an inventory right now. What are the podcasts that you're listening to? What are the audiobooks that you have? What books are you reading? What are you Googling? Or if you're a Pinterester, what are you Pinteresting? What is your social media feeds, news feeds? Like, what are they filled with? These are questions that once you answer them, okay, you're going to really find out what you're interested in. Ask like some people that are close to you, like, what am I really good at? What do you come to me for? Ask yourself that. Like, what are you known for? Okay. What are your specialties on the job? All of this stuff is going to help you online, but not only that, you guys, and here's what the great thing is not only is it going to help you online, it's going to help your followers and it's going to help the people around you. Like, you're going to be able to serve on such a level that you've never been able to serve on because you didn't get to put two and two together, right? And it's easy. It's not time consuming. You don't have to have a fucking product. You just have to go out there. You just have to start putting content out that's targeted and voila, you're going to start building a following. Pretty cool, right? Pretty easy. Isn't that cool? I think it's fucking badass. All right. So, so at this point, you're like, Autumn, that's great. I just don't have all fucking day to do this shit. So you might want to help me out. That's probably what you're thinking, right? And I'm going, don't worry. I got your back, right? Okay. So how do we build online without being here all day long? Because quite honestly, like, we don't all have that time, right? The trick is, and I'm going to tell you something, it took me 2 fucking years to figure this out and $50,000 later, and a lot of time, like thousands of hours, okay? It's not about how much you post. It's about the connection with your audience that you've built, and it's about the value in the post that you're bringing. It's very important. So what does that mean? Well, if you're building a following, we're going to go back to my canine example, and you're all about like teaching canine like families, future like canine families, military and police, right? What it's like when you get a canine and you fucking are also showing them what you eat, pictures of your mom, pictures of your fucking, I don't know, your rock collection, pictures of you fucking singing. Like, nobody gives a shit about any of that, right? I'm not going to interact with you and I'm like, why are you clogging up my newsfeed? But if you stay strictly targeted and you're like, okay, so every post I make, it's going to be chock full of value. So it's like, here's a tip. Here's behind the scenes. Here's what it really looks like. Here's what you really need to know. Here's a strategy on how to handle, your wife or your husband who is not the canine handler overreacting because your canine is on the fucking counter and you can't make them wrong for it. So here's what you do, right? And so stuff like that, I want to pay attention to. And when you add a photo that is completely relevant to it, plus a really good, like story, a really good paragraph, really good content, you don't have to post all fucking day long. Just make that one post. People are going to comment underneath it. People are going to like it. People are going to share it. And it just keeps growing and showing up. And this, my friends, is why we need to go back up to the top, to the first secret, and you've got to create that targeted following, okay? Because when the more targeted it is, the more your people are going to like it, and the more it's going to get shared, and the more it's going to be visible. So the key here is how do I grow and I don't have all day? One, you need to post like valuable content. Don't just post a post very valuable content. And number two, I want you to really spend some time thinking, like taking an inventory again on how much time you're spending just scrolling mindlessly, right? Through your Facebook, through your Instagram, through your social media. You do that a lot. A lot of people do. Okay. So when you're taking a shit, when you're fucking going to bed, when you wake up in the morning, when you're on break, when you're whatever, when, you know, shit's slow at work, that's what you're doing. So what you need to be doing is this. You need to be doing your money-making activities. So what is that? That's posting, and it's being targeted, right? It's going into paying attention to who like the influencers are in your target market, going onto their profiles, checking for their hashtags, using their hashtags. It's, you know, so you can target your people even more. It's going in and like looking at people who might be in a hashtag that would be of relevance to you in your target, getting in there and helping people and liking and commenting on their things. And, you know, you can give them a follow, they might give you a follow back. Like, it's doing things that are not mindless, that, you know, even if you can only do it 10 minutes at a time and 3 times a day, it's actually going to make a difference. Does that make sense to you? Like, can you see that it's such a simple little tweak, but it's huge. It's huge, right? When you're doing something that's relevant to your target market and you can make a quick little video on your story and show behind the scenes, do it. When you get inspired to make like a bit of a little rant, do it. When you get inspired to take a photo of something and like write, like, here's how you do this, here's a tip, do it, okay? Because when you do things out of inspiration, it's going to be of a lot more value for your people, okay? Like, so it's pretty cool. So I literally just told you in 30 minutes a day that you can literally grow your following. You can do it with targeted people, and you don't have to fucking spend all day. And so guess what happens when you grow a following and they're targeted? You get to make money. Isn't that like the most badass thing you've ever heard of in your life? But it's true. It's true. And like, especially in the sheepdog realm, like we are missing this. Like, this is totally being missed. And so it's my job, it's my passion to come and bring this information to you so that you guys can start using it. And you guys can not only start using it and making yourselves money, but you can start actually serving people, because we as sheepdogs, as a family, have so much more to offer the world than just like these regular run-of-the-mill motherfuckers who call themselves businessmen or businesswomen. Straight up. Okay. All right. And so you guys ready for my third secret? My third little hack? Okay. So it's how to begin growing that following that will eventually make you money, but you get to start doing that right now. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to tell you. So I hit on it a little bit. So it goes back in. So we have to reiterate, we need to get targeted. So we need to have a profile that's not just full of shit. Okay. And then you need to be visible, providing really good content. But after you've done all of that, you need to start taking a look at the influencers, and I told you that. But this is real. You really want to start paying attention to the influencers. You really want to see who's dominating your industry. Who knows what they're talking about? Because that means, and that's good, don't look at it as a bad thing, they're my competition. No, fuck no, that's awesome, because that means that there's a niche, there's a market for it, and you just got to tap into it. So you want to make your thing a little different. We never copy anybody else. Ever, ever, ever. Don't ever copy anybody else. It's fucking bullshit. Number one, it's illegal, and number two, it's distasteful, and I don't have to worry, because I know you, my sheepdog nation, you would never do that, but I'm telling you right now, don't ever do that. Okay? So make sure that you are not copying anybody else. Everything has to be original ideas from you. They can be similar to different people, okay? But they need to be you, and you need to be unique, all right? And this is why being authentic and unique on your social media profiles is so important, because that can be the one thing that makes you stand out. How cool is that? Just by being yourself, right? So we grow this following by like reaching out to influencers and looking to see who's like kicking ass, right? Like who's kicking ass and taking names in our areas of expertise and where we want to go in our target market. So we go and we get to know who these influencers are. I suggest you making a list. And then I suggest that you pay attention to what they're posting, see what their content is, see what the people are saying about it, okay? And get to know the people that are in there, all right? And the next thing that you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to reach out to these influencers and see if they will feature you. Paid, you always, so really good Instagram etiquette, and I learned this the hard way, okay? is you always ask, hey, how much for a shout out? Do you guys do paid advertising? Do you do paid shout outs? And I'm going to tell you that some do, some won't. It's all up to them. They all have their own rules. They all have their own like specifications. But from my experience, influencer shout outs are 10 times better than a fucking running an ad. Running an ad is like a hit or miss. Like, it's okay. And some people are really good at it. And I'm not shitting on ads, but if you can do this, then I really think that you are going to grow exponentially. But not even that, you guys, it's growing with the right market. Okay. Because what happens is if I go and I recommend somebody and you like me, then you're probably going to go and follow that person because you like me, right? And you trust me. And if I like them, then you might like them. So you're going to go and like check them out, right? And so like, it's kind of building this rapport. It's like bringing a friend into this, like a new friend into the circle. And like your friend tells you how awesome this new friend is. And you're like, all right, yeah, like sounds pretty fucking cool. Like sounds a lot like us. Like, yeah, I'm wicked excited to meet her, right? And so it's a lot easier. And then to like have people get to know and like and trust you. Okay. So influencer marketing is huge. So, getting that list of influencers and reaching out to them and finding out how much it costs to get shouted out on their profile. But before you do that, okay, couple of things. You want to make sure that your profile is like filled at least 9 posts of good content, like really good content that looks appealing, doesn't look like a bunch of fucking diarrhea all over my fucking newsfeed, okay? I know what you do, and I would really suggest you having a clickable link, even if it's just to be able to email you, even if it's just to go to your like Facebook profile so they can like your page there, whatever. But even if you don't have a clickable link, that's fine too. But eventually I would like to see you have a clickable link. Because what happens is it just makes it easier for people to buy from you. So if you don't have a website, you're going to want to get one at some point. Even if it's just like a bio and like, hey, here's what I do. Here's how you can work with me. Here's how you can get featured on my Instagram. Very simple, even if that's all you want to do, right? So reaching out to influencers is going to help you grow very big, but very targeted in a very short amount of time. Okay. So if you've got money to dump into this is where the money needs to get dumped into. But do not skip secret number 1 and secret number 2, because if you do not have the foundational pieces laid down, you guys, I'm not following you, and you will not grow following. And so all the money that you're dumping into influencer marketing is not going to help you. Okay. So what did we learn? Right? We learned that we don't have to fucking spend all day to like make money on social media. We don't have to spend a ton of money on ads. Sometimes we don't even have to spend money building and growing, right? And we can literally do this on the side. We can do it in literally 30 minutes a day. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunch, 10 minutes before bed. Pretty cool, right? Like, if you ask me, it's nothing better. There's nothing better, especially for, you guys who are, enjoy working the road, and maybe you're just looking for a fucking retirement gig, or, maybe you are eventually want to replace your full-time income someday, or maybe you just like want a fucking hobby that's going to make you some money. Okay, easy, done. I gave you your solution, right? But how would you like it if you were like, you know what, Autumn, I think this is all really cool, but at the same time, I don't have fucking time to go find these hashtags. I don't have time to go find these influencers. And like, I don't know how to make sure that my Instagram or my Facebook or anything is like set up for success. Like, I have no idea how to do all this. So what if I told you that I could solve that problem for you? Would you be pumped? Like, what if I told you that I have a list of 75 targeted hashtags that I've used, that I've seen multiple other influencer profiles use, that were targeted for sheepdogs? What if I told you that I had that and I give it to you? Would that be cool? Would you be pumped for that? How about, would you be excited if I told you that I have a list, a compilation of over 20 influencers, worth at least $1,000 that I'm going to give to you? Would you be pumped about that? Because I'm going to tell you, like, when I first started, there was nothing like this for me. Nothing. I had to do all this myself. It took me fucking, like I told you, thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours. And I am tired of that bullshit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this for you guys because you don't have the time. You don't need, I don't want you to go spend that amount of money on figuring out how to grow your profile and how to start a business, right? Like, I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to be able to do this in a very short amount of time, and I want you to find success in a very short amount of time. So what I'm going to do for you and what I have for you today is this. So I've created a free training on, check that. It's not free. It's not free, but I'm going to tell you how much it is. It's $27. Okay. It's $27 just to preface it because I fucking hate when everyone's like, here it is, here it is, here it is. Oh, and I don't get to tell you how much. So I have created 3 trainings for you. I'm only going to charge you $27 because I want you to go and I want you to kick ass. I want you to get results. I've had clients, you can read on this page who've got the results with me. A lot of my clients have huge freaking profiles, you know, 7, 10,000, 30,000 followers on Instagram, and we took them from not making money to actually making money. And so that can be you. Okay. So here it is. So you're going to have a hashtag. It's called hashtag target practice. I'm going to give you a compilation plus a workbook on exactly what to do with those hashtags. There's 75 hashtags. You need to use at least 30 in your posts, okay, for a while. And I give you all that step-by-step workbook. And then on top of that, okay, that's a $100 value in itself. Easy. It's probably way over that, but I'm just going to, you know, cut it short and tell you that's worth maybe $100, worth way more than that, but okay. And I created an audio training to go with that because, again, you don't have all the fucking time in the world to sit down and go through a book, right? Like an audio when you're on the go, when you're driving, when you're going to and from work, like that's easier for you to listen to, right? Right. So I gave you the workbook on hashtags and audio. So you have one training. I have a second training, okay, and this is worth over $1,000. So I've created a compilation of influencers targeted for sheepdogs, okay, who know that you're coming. So when you tell them the lady sheepdog sent me, you get like extra, like they're gonna pay attention. They're gonna pay attention because I've already reached out to them. They know that you're coming. They're gonna give you like, what's it called? Like extra attention. They're going to take care of you, but you've got to tell them that I sent you. You have got to use the Facebook etiquette, the Instagram etiquette that I told you about making sure that you're asking them for the money, like that you can give them money, how much the price is first. Like you've got to do that shit. Don't come in and be like, hey, can you shout me out? Like, no. But anyway, so I'm going to give you, I've got a whole workbook, step-by-step training guide on how to reach out to influencers. And the 20 that I use, the 20 that's targeted for Sheepdog Nation. I'm going to give you that. It's this. And then I even have an audio course to go with it, like an audio. So you go and you can listen to it together. That's worth well over $1,000, you guys. And I'm only asking $27. Like, holy fuck, right? So right now we're up to, we're at about $1,200 mark in value of just these 2 courses. And so at this point you're like, okay, Autumn, so like I'm going to have these hashtags. I'm going to have these influencers. Now what? Well, now what is you need to make sure your profile is set up for success. And I'm literally giving you my, it's a do-it-yourself social media audit. This is what I take my clients through. This is why people pay me, you know, a couple of $100 an hour just to sit down and go through this with me. And I'm going to give it to you for free, but only for a limited time. Okay. So once this sells out, once 100 copies go, like I'm not doing this anymore. So if you want the influencer list, if you want the hashtag list, if you want the, you want the workbooks, you want the audios, and you want this do-it-yourself audit so that you can set your social media up for success. So when people come to you, like they're not leaving you, then what you need to do is you need to get down here and you need to get this now, because after 100 are sold, I am no longer giving out my audit. Okay. This is a very exclusive offer. This is worth well over $1,200. I have paid to over $1,200 for this shit. I'm giving it to you for 27 because you're my family. I love you guys. I want to see you get results. All right? If you guys have any questions at all, I want you to go on Instagram. I want you to find me at The Lady Sheepdog. I want you to direct message me. I'd be happy to answer any questions. But again, you shouldn't have too many questions over $27 because I can tell you that after this, you're going to be golden. You're going to be good to go. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.